Okay, we are live. Let me pull up my phone so I can see the questions. Okay, got two people watching. Laura Davis is watching me. Give it a few minutes to get some more people watching. Yes, it's working. Who else we got on here besides Laura? I'm probably one of them on my phone. Christina France is watching. Awesome. This is so I can read my questions because it's too small to read on the iPad. But it's kind of weird because there's like a delay. So it's like I move, but then I look down and then I do the same movement. So it's kind of funny. Figured be a good time to do one of these because we like to kind of do them every couple months or so. And so we got a lot of stuff coming up and figured this would be a good way to kind of help get the word out about everything. And so we are hopefully gonna, well, me right now, it's just me, but we're gonna have, hopefully some other people coming on and sit next to me so it's not just me rattling on for a little bit. First thing coming up is Odd Market. I wanted to mention Odd Market coming up on Saturday, August 18th. And that is going to be in Tuscola, and it'll be from 10 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. And it's going to be a BFD. We've been working really hard, the Oddfellows Lodge, and Laura and me, and can you turn the volume down on that? Turn the volume down on the radio.
Sorry.
So, hello. So, if anybody is looking for something awesome to do on August 18th, come on down to Tuscola, and we will have live music all day from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We got a whole ton of bands playing. We could probably get a list for you for that. We're gonna have like over 40 regional artists. We're gonna have a big old bounce inflatable obstacle course for the kids. There will be a fee for that, so it's not free to do the obstacle course, so make sure you bring a little bit of cash for that for the kids. Bring cash anyway if you want to buy anything, because not every artist is going to have credit card capabilities. We're going to have food trucks. It's going to be the world premiere of the Cast Iron Pub / Irma Lou's Kitchen. So we're really excited to have that business opening up, and they will be one of our food vendors at it. And there's going to be a whole lot of awesome stuff there, and I'll probably talk about that a little bit more a little bit. Let's see. So we got our first question. Does the outcome of the tattoo color-wise turn out differently for a person who is tan as opposed to being pale? Yes, it makes a big difference. The best way to think about it is when a tattoo is healed, there's a layer of skin that is healed over top of your tattoo. So depending on how dark your skin is, it's like if you're looking into a car window that's got like different levels of car tint on the window, or if you're wearing like a different level of darkness of sunglasses and looking at something, it will mute down colors. So if somebody has, super, super pale skin, then the vibrancy of the color will look more intense, whereas if somebody is darker skinned, then it will look a little bit more muted. So that's just kind of one of the natures of the beast. My cousin's watching. Hi, Catherine. That's kind of one of the things that we have to take into account if we tattoo somebody. like if somebody is a tan person and they like go out into the sun a lot and they're not planning on using any sunscreen, and we try to kind of keep that into account. So yeah, so that's a good question. So okay, so back to the odd market. We've got a couple exciting things going on. So we've got these shirts available now for anybody who's interested. These are the throwback vintage Karma logos because we just had our 11th anniversary. So this is the classic box logo that I used for many, many, many years. And when we switched from being in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania to being in Tuscola, Illinois, we decided to kind of change the logo a little bit to kind of mark a different point in our lives. And so being released at Odd Market will be shirt number 2. So you got to come to Odd Market to get the kind of like the standard vintage Karma logo. So this is really cool. It's like the shirt color is called tar, so it's like a really kind of like a dark gray, and there's kind of like a khaki logo on it. So this is just you know, we've been doing a lot of art shirts over the years, and we've never done just a basic logo shirt, so that's why we decided to do just a basic logo shirt for anybody who just wanted a basic logo shirt, you know. So in case people, you know, wanted to rep vintage Karma, but they didn't want, you know, anything too, you know, outlandish. So we've got that one, and then in the blue we've got the VK Scratchy Box logo throwback. So they're both on super nice all style shirts. They're soft. They yeah, so they're not gonna, you know, be like super like stiff and uncomfortable like some shirts are. Yeah, Stroudsburg in the house. Yeah, it looks like oh great, looks like Laura's posting some links to stuff, so if anybody's got any curiosity about that. So that's the one thing that, you know, at Odd Market we will be releasing this shirt, so you got to come to Odd Market to get it first. Then, you know, if your size sells out, it sells out. Then anything we have left will be for sale afterwards in the shop. The other big thing is for what we're doing as a shop for part of our 11th anniversary, besides the shirts, is we are doing a big raffle for $500 worth of gift certificates. These are the 5 $100 gift certificates right here. So if you and, you know, you and 4 friends want to go in on it, or just one person wants to keep it all to themselves, they could go in on it. Because you can split these up if you're a winner. You could split it up, you know, you could split it up 5 ways if you got you and a couple buddies. You can't split it down into like less than that because that would just be crazy. But yeah, so we are selling raffle tickets as part of our 11th anniversary / Odd Market / as a fundraiser. It's a charitable fundraiser. We haven't released yet what the charity is. We're trying to get that sorted out. We have a pretty good idea what we're doing, and the second we get confirmation, we will let y'all know what the money we raise will be going towards. But this, you know, this is a good chunk of time, you know, $500, you know, that's a whole lot of, you know, that's a whole lot of tattooing that'll get you. So tickets for these, you could buy them now, and we will be drawing the winner at Odd Market. So that's another good reason to come to Odd Market, is to see if you win, or if you got a last ditch effort and you want to buy some more tickets. We are selling tickets for $10 a piece. We do have ticket bundles where if you buy, you pay for 4 tickets, the 5th one is free. So $40 gets you 5 tickets, or it's $10 a ticket. So yeah, if you want to try your luck, and anything that is above, you know, any money we raise that's above the money to cover these will be going to charity, and we hope to be doing some good stuff with that, because we love helping the community. The area's been so good to us, and we just want to, you know, do everything we can to give back. And so yeah, here we go. So let's see if I got here. Jess, what if I want to take to my pets? Gotta get caught up here on the questions. Do you think tattoos are being more accepted in the workplace? Have you heard of Stay Paw? I don't know what that is. I haven't. I don't know what that is. Sorry, Travis. I think it depends on as far as the workplace. As far as the military, they always have a sliding up and down of acceptance depending on what the need for personnel is. If it's a time of war, then the military gets a lot more flexible with the tattoo rules. If it's peacetime, then they don't need as many people, so they can be a little bit more picky. Overall, I think it's being more accepted, but I think at the same time, exercise your best judgment. If you're, young and you don't know what you're going to do for a career, don't jump into getting a bunch of hand and face tattoos if you aren't quite settled in your career yet, because that, it can cause problems down the road. So, don't run out and get your little peep crybaby tattoo on your forehead. Oh, support tattoos and piercings at work. Okay. I don't know, Travis. It's one of those things that, it's, I guess it's just up to the employer, I can't, I'm not, I worked in a bank for over 7 years, and I had to keep it pretty basic and professional. And I think that's just kind of how the world operates. You wouldn't show up to a business meeting wearing jeans and stuff. So I think it kind of comes down to a casual / professional image thing. That's a good question. How did the Vintage Karma name come about and what inspired it? The name Vintage Karma is, I chose it because I have a love for history, and I love the idea of kind of using things from the past as inspiration. And so it's kind of this concept of past and future. So vintage and then karma, and kind of reinterpreting things from the past and making it new again, and kind of a whole kind of idea of repurposing and kind of being inspired and by everything around you. So that, and it kind of sounded good together. So yeah, that's how the name came about. It's using the inspiration of the past to guide your future. So that's basically what the name kind of comes down to meaning. So let's see if there's any other. So that's that. Sorry, I have to keep going down and checking the questions since I can't read them. So if you guys got any questions about anything, anything tattooed related, business related, art, Oddfellows, me, whatever, definitely do a lot to try to, educate everybody about everything. So, let's see. Jess, you're tattooing and watching us. Wow, that's fancy. Brooke says, what is the most challenging piece you've ever done? That's an easy answer. The first piece is always the hardest, because you don't know what you're getting into. And even now,
I'm going to come help you with the questions.
Okay, thank you. Laura's going to come help me with questions. So there are pieces that can be definitely more challenging, but after
wait,
you're on the wrong side.
shit.
But after 14 years of tattooing, there's not a lot I haven't there's not a lot I haven't done yet, or that would be throwing a ball out of left field that I would not know quite how to approach. So I guess with age comes wisdom, or maybe I'm just full of crap. I don't know. Maybe I'm just horrible and I'm full of myself. Yeah.
No.
What sets ourselves apart from the competition? Well, I think one of the big things that sets us apart from the competition is the fact that we are very invested in doing the consultation process with the clients, and that a lot of shops, like what consultation means is a client comes in and pitches you, hey, I want this, and the artist takes like, a scratch paper and takes some quick notes, and then they book the appointment, and the client doesn't know what they're getting until they show up the day of. That seems to be the top reason for tattoo regret, is the kind of a lack of communication between the artist and the client. And then the client, if they're, a little bit nervous or they don't want to piss off the artist, they don't say anything, even if it's the day of and they see it and they're not quite 100% with the design, and they'll just kind of go ahead and do it anyway. So by doing a consultation, we block off an hour of time for, if that much time is necessary. Even it might not take that long, it might take only 15 minutes or so, but by blocking off a period of time that we sit down face to face, our attention is on the client, and we ask them a series of questions and take good notes, and we come up with the rough design right then and there. That way, if they like something or don't like something, they can let us know ahead of time before we take the time to prepare the piece, as opposed to people feeling kind of a little too nervous to speak up, and then they just kind of go ahead and do it. So definitely the consultations are one thing that's a huge deal. Another thing that makes us different is the fact that we do have Laura, who is the full-time customer relations, social media people manager person that books all our appointments. So by having somebody who's always there for you to get a hold of, so that way, like if you call, during business hours, of course, like if you call, you're gonna get an answer, or if you message us during the day, it's not gonna go 3 days without getting replied. So we try to, be fully, involved, during working hours, especially like that, we'll check in during our weekends as well. But so, we've always got somebody you can reach out to, and if you have a question or concern or anything like that. And I guess the other thing that makes us different is the fact that we're out in the middle of nowhere. So, kind of makes us like a little special surprise that's kind of an unexpected thing. And I think people like that because it's like you're coming here to have this experience, and it kind of makes the whole thing, like a more fun package, as opposed to being in a town and having a lot of shop drama between other tattoo shops. So I like where my shop used to be in Pennsylvania, in Stroudsburg. Like I could throw a rock in 3 different directions and I could hit a tattoo shop. So it's completely opposite of that now. So, and I kind of like it like that because we could just focus on our business instead of what other people are doing. So that's kind of nice. I think I've missed a bunch of questions here.
No, I think the next question was, what do you love most about doing cover-ups?
I think it's I like the challenge of it because it's like a puzzle that best way I can describe it, it's like you get a puzzle, but you don't know what the lid of the box looks like, so you got to kind of start figuring out yourself. And so I like that kind of mental gymnastics of it. And plus the emotional payoff is a lot higher because you make people just that much happier because they have something that they hate on their bodies, and then you give them that body part back to them, literally, because a lot of times people are ashamed to show off that area of their body because the tattoo is so embarrassing or they hate it so much. So being able to give people back their body like that is super rewarding. So
see Kim's comment?
let's see.
People are saying that.
Oh yeah, somebody said we send the sweet postcards too. Yeah, that's another thing that sets us different is we send out birthday postcards for everybody, so you get $20 off birthday postcards. That's our main advertising thing we do. Mm-hmm. We like to invest back into our clients in that way. Fun little gift. Somebody says when you were at Vince Carmen Stroudsburg, I was dying to stop by and have you do my 3/4 sleeve. Still dreaming of making my way out. I can't see what the whole thing says.
Making my way out to your new shop for your amazing artistry.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, we're here. We love having long distance guests. That actually, is a pretty common thing. That we have people from several hours away or more to come out just to get tattooed, and it's always a super humbling experience. It always makes it feel like that's a lot of pressure to be like, wow, like I better really deliver, if somebody's coming from far away to get tattooed, like that's, that makes me feel like I have to like exceed their expectations that much more because they probably passed like 50 tattoo shops on the way to get to me. So where do I see the business in 3 to 5 years? I don't know. It's kind of one of those, hopefully, doing just as good as we are right now or better. So, we're still a growing family here, and hopefully, not just the business, but more the community-wise. We hope that, our little corner of Uptown Tuscola continues in the next 3 to 5 years to fill up some more with more cool artsy businesses as, we're kind of building this art community in the middle of the cornfields, which is kind of a super cool, fun thing. So yeah, that's kind of not so much business-wise, but community-wise. Like, I hope we have more like art or like small businesses, in Tuscola, like a cool coffee shop or anything like that. We got some awesome stuff coming really soon. So like super excited about that. So I feel like, seeing the progress in the past, however many years we've been here, almost 7 years now. And then seeing the progress we've done, and just kind of keeps me motivated to the future. I mean, there's been setbacks, and go down a path with something, and you got to kind of back up and change directions. So it's not like a clear shot to success for any of what we're trying to do in Tuscola, but it's definitely a lot of experimenting. But I think overall it's better to try something and not have it work out than to not do anything at all. So yeah. So what else we got here?
I don't know, I'm kind of missing stuff. Oh, we got a special guest.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna turn off my phone, and you can just be the question fielder, Laura.
Oh, sorry, I'm not doing a good job right now of question field.
Fired.
I'm gonna fire myself.
Put the shirt up here. So Caleb just finished up doing a little tattoo. What did you just do?
A little sunflower.
Little sunflower. That's awesome.
Oh.
So
Yeah, turned out nice.
yeah. So Caleb is, how old are you? 2 tattooing years?
Tattooing years? 2. Yeah.
So Caleb's
About 2. In
Caleb's
September.
almost 2 in tattoo years. And later we'll have to get Tosh up here, who's our new apprentice. So yeah.
Hi, Lori.
Leah Carney's waving. So yeah, if anybody's got any questions about anything we do, or we're just gonna kind of just sit and talk about poop, I don't know. Give him a round of applause.
I'm just being silly, like a talk show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just being silly. Melvin's clapping. Woo!
Yay.
Special guest.
Yep. So.
Maybe you could talk about your book's opening if nobody has any
Oh
questions.
yeah, that's right. So is that the 7th?
August 7th at noon.
So August 7th, Tuesday, August 7th, my books will be opening again at noon, and so we'll be taking on a dozen or whatever. Haven't decided how many spots yet, but it's usually around a dozen new projects that I'll take on for the next handful of months to overlap with old projects and stuff. Kind of keeps me a little bit more organized. So yeah, so if you have an idea for a tattoo that is like a pretty large scale piece, message the shop page or give us email at shopfinishkarma@gmail.com. Send us your ideas, see if it's a project that I'm able to take on. If it's something that I feel that Killian or Caleb are really well suited for, I'll also refer a lot of pieces to them. Yeah. So.
Yep.
I'll post a link in the comments below. Travis wants to know the last concert you attended.
Oh,
Man,
We're so old we might not know.
I can't
the
even
answer.
remember.
I think it might have been the Red Hot Chili Pepper one.
Last summer.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. The last couple concerts I went to were ones that my sister took me to, which is awesome. And so last summer she took me to go see Red Hot Chili Peppers, and that was cool. And then the summer before that we saw The Cure, and that was extra awesome. That was my third time seeing The Cure, and they put on an awesome show and one of my favorite bands. And can't think of before that what the last show. Maybe Dropkick Murphys. I don't know. I don't get out much. I really don't.
I can't even really remember. I think it might have been Primus, like a
Wow.
long time ago.
Okay. So like 1992.
No, not that long ago. They were doing a double set of Sailing the Seas of Cheese. So yeah, it was probably 10 years ago.
So you're due.
Yeah, I'm due.
Yeah. Oh, Travis is in line in Chicago for taking back Sunday in Coheed and Cambria.
Nice.
Well, I'm glad we're giving you something to kind of take your mind off of waiting in line, because I had to wait in line for both of those concerts in Chicago, and it was hot and miserable and hot. So yeah. Oh, you know what we should do? Speaking of concerts, we should let me pull up that thing for the list of bands and when they're going on for Odd Market.
Mhm.
Speaking of music,
You heard it. You hear it first.
so let me scroll here real quick. So Odd Market, Saturday, August 18th, live music all day for free, which is pretty banging. So our lineup for music at Odd Market is at 10 in the morning, we will have Alex Walker. At 11:45, we will have Todd Hazelrig. At 1:15, it'll be Matt Berry. At 2:45, Andy Moe. 4:30 will be Joe Assailan and the Moonlight Ramblers. 6:15 will be After Curfew, which is one of the bands who went through the program, the first gig program that we're benefiting with On Market. So it'll be cool to have after curfew play. And then 8 o'clock, our headlining act will be Killer Bee Honey, which is a definite area favorite. So, and you know, if you've seen Killer Bee Honey, that they put on a really good show. A lot of hits that they play, and some that aren't hits from back in the day, but are some deep tracks that are pretty awesome. So yeah, so if you want to really, you know, just something to do for free, Odd Market is it. You know, you don't have to spend $1, or you can spend as many dollars as you want. We're gonna have a lot of awesome stuff. We're gonna have food. We're gonna have iced coffee.
It all benefits first gig.
All benefits first gig. There's going to be some other charities present. We're going to have over 40 vendors. They'll be inside and outside. And the super big ass...
Snakes.
Oh, snakes on the stage. I forgot to mention the snakes. So one of our Oddfellow brothers from upstate, Lucas, is generously donating his time to come down from the Chicago suburbs with his reptile show, which will be indoors. Will be snakes on a stage. And so it's a great educational experience for kids. So he lets you, you know, handle the snakes, and he teaches you about them and to not be afraid of them, and the proper way to, you know, approach a snake and stuff like that. So, you know, super educational, super fun. You know, he does kids parties and stuff, so it's really cool to have. It's cool to have him donating his time coming down with all his critters to, you know, be a component of our Odd Market. So we're really excited about having the snakes on the stage, and so we've also got the obstacle course, which is gonna be like super dope. The obstacle course is for all ages. There will be a fee for the obstacle course. I think we're gonna. Are we gonna do $5?
I think that's what we've talked about.
Yeah, so it'll be $5 wristbands to do the obstacle course. But the awesome thing with that is that you could go through as many times as you want. So as long as you get the wristband, which we'll be selling.
For kids, it's for kids.
It's for kids, yeah. I mean, we don't want like somebody like taking out like a 5-year-old, and that's
it's a bounce house.
Yeah. It's inflatable, like if you got kids and you want to give them something to do to wear their kid butts out while you want to shop, put them through the obstacle course a couple times, and they'll be super docile while you while you go shopping, and then take them to go check out some snakes. We're gonna have the snow cone truck.
Yes, snow cone. I don't know if it's a truck, but there will be snow cones.
There'll be snow cones. There's gonna be
taco
truck. We're gonna have a taco truck,
and then of course cast iron pub and Irma Lou's.
Yeah. So if any of you guys have been kind of keeping up with the Tuscola news, we're gonna have 2 new awesome restaurants opening up across the way from us, and they will be there with the grand premiere of some of their food for people to eat. And so we're really excited about that.
Cindy wants to know, is the market going to be right down near your shop?
The market is going to be on North Central Avenue.
Yes.
Which is right close to us. It's the next block south. So the community building is where some of the indoor vendors are going to be, and then the parking lot of the community building is going to be the entertainment area with all the food and the music, and then the lots between the community building and the vault that had the buildings that got torn down, that's going to be the outdoor vendors and the bounce obstacle course. So yes, so it's going to be like a big old thing.
Yes, it will be.
And so art vendors will be from 10 o'clock to 5 p.m. So if you want to do some shopping, make sure you get there before 5, because that's how long the art vendor portion is going to be. The bounce house obstacle course is that 11 to 3?
I would have to confirm. I'm not sure on that. Something, I did believe so.
I think
but
it's
somewhere
11
in
to
there
3.
around 1.
So 11 to 3 is for the bounce house. So make sure if you got kids that want to do the bounce house, get there between 11 and 3, and then music is all day till 10 at night. So once we kind of shut down the art vendor portion of it, it gives the rest of us an opportunity to go and kick back and enjoy the music and party a little bit with everybody. So we're pretty excited about that. So it's gonna be a really good time. We've really worked hard on this. We don't make a dime off of it. We do it just purely all volunteers putting it on, and just because we want to make our community have cool stuff to do, and we want to highlight the artists of our area and highlight the musicians of our area, and just kind of show Central Illinois that great things are happening in the middle of Tuscola, and hopefully get more people that want to be a part of it. And and we got, so if there's anybody who needs help at the odd market, the vendors will all be wearing
Too bright.
I know the shirts are that bright, so we'll get safety green odd market staff shirts for anybody who
It's so bright.
They're that bright. So yeah, if you see anybody in like safety green like that with this, like those are all the helpers. We're gonna have hopefully a couple dozen helpers throughout the event that are gonna help make sure everything runs smoothly, because we've never taken on something this big, and we want to make sure that it goes without a hitch, and any problems that do arise can definitely be taken care of easily. Bright green shirts, unless there's somebody else wearing a bright green shirt, and then you like tap them on the shoulder and they're like, not us. But maybe they'll know that the ones with the shirts are us. So yeah, let's see what else we got here. People talking about folks. So, you got anything cool going on?
Not really.
Not really.
No. Ready for vacation.
He's ready for vacation. We're taking a week off after Odd Market because I'm gonna go to Baltimore and do some odd fellowing there. But let's see. Okay, I can't see anything. But yeah. So, how do you?
Yep.
Still like tattooing?
Yeah. It's alright, I guess.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
No, it's like the best job. It's real fun.
It's a pretty good job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, we've run out of questions.
I know. Nobody wants to talk to us
It's
today.
okay. We've been talking for 36 minutes already.
Oh wow. Okay. So
You showed them the shirts.
I showed them the shirts. Showed them the raffle tickets. Come get your raffle tickets for $500 worth of tattoo time. That's a lot of tattoo time. And that's for charity as well. We're drawing those winners at Odd Market. And what else we got?
Did you talk about the raffle basket?
Oh, I did not talk about the raffle basket.
There you go.
Our lodge also will have at Odd Market a raffle basket of amazing stuff. Many of the artists are donating items to go into the raffle basket. Vintage Karma, we're donating stuff for the raffle basket. One of the cool things we have is we're going to have some items from Simply Amish. I think 2 chairs.
That's what we were told.
Is that-
Yes.
oh, wow, I didn't know
Fingers
Yeah, so we're
crossed.
gonna have
That's
some Simply Amish chairs part of the raffle. So once we have pics of those, we will definitely, rules for the tattoo raffle. Can you pick artists? Yeah, the tattoo raffle, Alicia, it's good for anybody at Vintage Karma. We're gonna do the tickets as a bundle of 5 tickets. So if like say you and Melinda and Mandy and Jen and whoever, like say 5 of you are like, let's pool our money, y'all could pool your money, and if you win, then you each get a $100 ticket or a $100 gift certificate. So if you want to go about it that way, or if you want to be super greedy, you could be all like, these all mine. So yeah.
You could buy 5 tickets for $40.
5 tickets are $40,
Or $10 a ticket.
or it's $10 a ticket, and so hopefully we'll get a lot of people buying those, so we can have that go towards a charity thing. And
I saw someone said that getting a tattoo felt like being licked by a kitten.
oh, so he says, oh okay, and then so he's like, if the kitten's tongue was on fire.
Like, that's not even close to what it feels like.
I mean, just a cat licking in the same spot kind of gets ouchy really quick, though.
Yeah, but I still feel a tattoo hurts a lot more.
Fire kitten. That's funny. Trying to think of some other things we got going. They're cool. We took off our awning, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So trying to do some cosmetic stuff always to the shop. So we'll have to do a little bit more cosmetic stuff outside now that we took the awning off to make it look a little bit. It looks a little shabby right now, but it's hot in summertime, and I don't feel like going outside and painting in the hot and humid heat. So that'll be a post on market project. Do you remember the first tattoo you ever did? Of course.
Yeah.
I never forget your first. Mine was on a guy good friend of mine, Brian Sobieski, who was a piercer at the shop I apprenticed at, and it was these little skulls on his hips with like spider webs and stuff. So yeah.
What was Caleb's first tattoo?
I'm about to show him right now. So the first tattoo I ever did was a cat silhouette. It's hard to see,
I know.
but
I should look at playing.
there it is. Yep. It was on my sister.
I'm gonna try and look up my first tattoo that I ever did. It might take me a minute. Do.
It was pizza. Matt brought us the pizza last week.
Oh, yeah, the pizza was awesome. Thank you. We always enjoy when people bring us food.
Trying to see if I can
Trying to find your
Yeah,
first tattoo.
it might take forever because
I'm not sure if I've ever seen your first tattoo.
well, now I feel like I got. It's a picture of it from like 10 years after it was done, so it's like an aged out picture, if that makes sense. Would probably be under my mobile uploads. Nope. This is like probably super boring. Like
Somebody wants to know what the strangest tattoo you've ever done is.
The strangest tattoo. I think probably that tattoo I did on Rocky Moore. The little
Lawnmower
stick figure
Man.
lawnmower man on the
Funny.
shaving his head.
Yeah.
I think that's the strangest one.
I don't know if you have an answer, Ainsley.
Let's see. I did a tattoo on the tip of somebody's wiener. So yeah. So either that or the knee-gina. So yeah.
Way more exciting than a lawnmower.
Yeah.
Somebody
Oh.
said, "Where's Killian?"
Oh, Killian's doing a guest spot today and tomorrow. So he's down in Carbondale, playing over at somebody else's house. And so yeah, no, he's guest spotting at, was it Tough Luck? Is that the name of the shop?
I don't know where he is. He's down south.
I think it's called Tough Luck Tattoos in Carbondale. So yeah, he's down.
If anybody's down there.
Yeah, if anybody's down in
Let me look it
Carbondale.
up. Shit, my phone's gonna die.
Yeah, so Killian's doing a little guesty, so it's kind of fun, you know, for tattooers sometimes to, you know, go experience a different shop and just something different, you know, kind of keeps you inspired, and it's fun to meet new people and, you know, hang out with different artists and talk to them. So it's, you know, not like you're just talking to me. Even though I act like I know a lot, I probably don't.
Right. Oh, my mom says hi.
Hello. Oh. Well, now I feel bad I couldn't find that first picture, the first tattoo picture, but I'll have to.
You'll have to find that.
I'll have to find it.
Definitely.
Yeah, might be. I don't know. I'll find it. I'll find that tattoo. But definitely, the crazy thing is like people that are starting off tattooing now are like they're able to get good at it so much faster than when I started tattooing. Like I sucked so bad for so many years, and then like I feel like maybe around my 5th year it started clicking and making sense. But like now people
What if
can.
people are watching you about tattoo before then?
They'll probably know that, you know, that I'm a lot better now than I was. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think, you
That's
know.
all right.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think if I got tattooed before.
no, you didn't.
Oh, good.
I mean, not that every tattoo I did, like my first handful of years sucked, but a lot of them did. But just everything has improved. So, yeah, it's so much easier to learn and get competent quickly. So at this point, it's almost like if you say you've been tattooing for however many years, and then it's like, unless you're like the most amazing artist, it's like almost like a bad thing. Like what's wrong with you?
Right.
Like I see people that have been like tattooing for like a couple years on Instagram, and they're like so freaking awesome, and it's just like, oh, I quit. I give
Yeah.
up. I'll never. That's like, can I start over and apprentice with whoever taught them to tattoo? Because
See, like people was like, this is my 3rd tattoo I've ever done, and it's like the most amazing thing ever.
books closed for 2 years, but I'm only doing. yeah, I'm on my first handful of tattoos, but it's crazy. It's crazy how the industry's changed in the past, 10, 15 years since I've been in it, and how a lot of artists hate on how things are right now, but I mean, I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's awesome that people can get good a lot faster now. I think a lot of there's a lot of factors that came into it or affect that, but I think just the fact that now I don't have to spend all this time that I did during my apprenticeship focusing on making needles and making the pelican ink into black ink for tattooing and all this old-fashioned stuff, which is cool knowledge to have. And I guess if there's I don't know, if I ever go to some desert island and all I have are the individual components of tattooing, I could make it with soldering iron and little needle
But if
pins
you're
and
on a
stuff.
desert island,
I know.
You just want to tattoo yourself.
I don't know.
I'm more worried about eating.
Right, I don't know. But hey, there's only one thing I'm, good. I don't know how to feed myself, but I can tattoo myself until I won't starve from tattoos. But yeah, all that time spent learning all these things that at this point in the industry are just you don't need to know how to do it. It'd be cool to learn stuff, but I once I opened my own shop, I knew immediately the first thing I was going to never do again was make another damn needle. I mean, it's time consuming. It's I'm glad we moved past that.
I am not envious of
No.
that either.
Or sitting, outside on a freezing cold February day in New Jersey, double boiling, vats of black ink and skimming off the top. And it's it's cool to know how to do. I'm glad I did it, but it doesn't affect any, it's like taking that class in school that you're I'm never going to use this when I grow up, and you don't. And you're why did I take this class? It kind of falls into that category. It was cool, but it, and with every, with all of us at the shop using rotary machines and the cartridges, it's it just cuts out so much stuff that if the guys want to learn it, I'll teach them or tell them about it, but it's,
In with the new.
Are you guys getting comments? Because I'm not seeing any. I'm having problems. So I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything.
Brian has a good, why don't you make some acetate stencil designs to sell? That's one thing I never did do. I never did do the acetate stencils. That was a little bit past my time, but I did do. I would make Olive Lou's stencils by hand with a Rapidoliner pen filled with the hectographic ink or the purple Genetian violet or whatever, and that was awful because we had spirit paper at the shop, and we had a old 3M secretary, but he was so cheap that he wouldn't use the spirit paper, and he wouldn't use the secretary, the Thermofax machine, because he didn't want to use up the spirit paper, and he didn't want to burn out the bulb or the feed belt or anything on the machine. So I had to make all the stencils by hand, and that was another time suck that saves time now, was doing all that. And not only was it not using it with the spirit paper, which you could just press through like carbon paper or something, it was using this crappy pen that the ink would just either splatter everywhere or it wouldn't come out, and then you end up just shredding a hole in your the tissue paper or tracing paper or whatever. So yeah, and you had to shake, tap it, shake it, and run it under hot water to get that thing going. And yeah, that I could have been learning more art stuff instead of fighting with that. So yeah, meh. I don't miss those days at all. So I'm not gonna wax poetic about the good old days of no. It's so much easier. All the ancillary, is that the right word? the outside stuff that
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, the iPad's a huge.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's the best thing ever.
That yeah, I mean, probably like for me personally, the two awesomest things that I mean, I was always a computer user for my tattoo designing. I always use Photoshop and stuff. So for me, jumping on getting the iPad was just made that even better. But yeah, the two best things for me that have changed my game were switching to cartridges instead of setting up 1,000 machines for a tattoo. So yeah, switching to cartridges and just setting up one machine, and that iPad Pro, man.
He says Brian says I used to change belts and bulbs on those secretaries. I don't know
Yeah.
if y'all can see that comment.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. I actually, when I opened my shop, I saved up, and I still had to make stencils by hand for like a year or so, but I at least would buy spirit paper and do it, which I'm sure, as you know, would take, you could spend hours on a stencil, and then you put it on a person, or God forbid they show up and you need to resize it, and you just wasted your time. Now it's like you just photocopy it a different size and then run it through again. It's awesome. Like before, that was like a day breaker. But I saved up and bought a secretary, and
I don't know what the hell a secretary is.
a 3M secretary. It's these old Thermofax
I wasn't paying
machines
attention.
that you
sorry.
would. They're old. They're from like the 60s and 70s.
Oh, I remember that thing.
And schools use them to make the master sheet for ditto machines.
I remember.
And that's what the spirit paper is from. It's the spirit master sheet for
Okay.
making your first thing to run through to make your dittos. So that's getting real old. You remember the smell in the ditto sheets? So I think maybe second grade was like the last time, third grade was maybe the last time I experienced a ditto sheet for my own stuff, the mimeograph. Anyway, so these old machines that they haven't made for like 30 years are like big in the tattoo industry, and for good reason, because you put your design on the spirit thing, you run it through, boom, there's your design. But the problem is, since they haven't been made, like getting the bulbs and the belts and all that stuff, it's like, I think there was like one guy left that would repair them. You would mail the thing off, and I had this machine. It was awesome until one day it just decided nope. Like I don't know if
It's over 30 years old.
right.
Time to go.
And I don't know if like the belt on it like got hung up or what happened, but it got like hung up in there, and then the light bulb's really hot, the exposure bulb, and then it melted like that plastic carrier sheet, and then there's this other thing in there. It just basically all melted together. It was like smoke billowing. It was awful. Because there's no off button on these things. You gotta unplug them. So I'm like trying to dig behind the desk to like pull the plug, and it's like I've got somebody coming to start a sleeve, and I've got like black smoke, and luckily luckily the shop down the street from me let me use their machine so I could run off all these pieces of the sleeve I was supposed to start. So now we just use the super cheap Chinese machines that they work for a year or two, and then they go kaput. And I always have like a backup or two of those machines because I know they'll just die at any time. So, but yeah.
Some old school stuff.
Oh yeah, they would burn those plastic carriers. Yeah, I mean, I would go through those blue plastic carriers like crazy, or like I'd try to hack it and use like those plastic like those transparency sheets from schools, and like kind of like hinge tape it so that way I could run it through with that. Yeah, they would always start getting like bubble warps and stuff in it, and yeah, I don't miss those days either. And that was like such a huge step ahead for me, from hand making stencils to have this machine that would spit it through, but you'd have to like rig it, like you have to adjust the speed on it, and it made for better. Like the one thing that was an advantage with those was that you could specifically line it up on your spirit paper, so that way you had less scrap spirit paper than we do now. So
yeah.
We try to use the little pieces because that's just
Yeah.
it's like almost like a competition game for me to like try to use as much of the little random hunks of spirit paper as I can. I've never used that Brother Pocket Jet thing yet. I don't know.
Is that the little one that's just like a bar?
Yeah, and I think you just Bluetooth right into it. But I feel like I like to import all my pictures back into Photoshop just so I could resize it precisely.
Right.
You know, as opposed to doing it on the iPad and kind of guessing.
Yeah, I never can get the size right on the iPad. That's the one thing. With Procreate anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't mind throwing it back into, you know, like Google Driving it to myself and opening it up and printing it out that way. And then we'll usually like leave a couple things open on the screen so that way somebody comes in and need to resize it, you could do that. So.
Right.
It's about an hour.
Is that about an hour? Okay, cool. Well, if anybody's got any more questions, let us know real quick, or we're going to wrap up real soon. So, and we'll definitely do this again in like another couple months. You know, we just like to do these whenever. You know, if I have an afternoon that's got a hole in it, it's usually like, hey, let's do this. So, I know it is funny they have counterfeit spirit paper. Don't buy that shit on Amazon because it's probably fake. I would hate to get the fake stuff because,
I'll answer Melvin's question.
I don't know what was
What
Melvin's.
app do you use for designing tattoos?
What app?
Yeah, Melvin wants to know, what app do you use for designing tattoos?
We use Procreate. It's
Procreate.
awesome. I've got a bunch of other apps I play around with that not directly for tattoos, but
Yeah, I've got a few like Fonto for text. I've been trying to learn Affinity Photo for iPad. It's a little bit more complicated than Procreate, but I guess it can do more.
Yeah, and I downloaded Affinity Designer, I think is what it's called. That came out like a couple weeks ago, and it's kind of like a vector-based program, so it's kind of Illustrator-ish, but better than all the Illustrator knockoff programs that are already on the iPad that suck. Like InkPad, I got that one. That's just like fighting the whole time. So yeah, I need to get back on with the Affinity Designer and get a little bit better with
Yeah,
it.
definitely Procreate is just
Procreate, yeah, nothing touches it.
it's the best.
Nothing, yeah. I mean,
Procreate and the Apple Pencil and the iPad Pro.
Yeah, Apple Pencil for sure. Yeah, iPad Pro, and I think the Apple Pencil does work with the new regular size.
Oh
iPad.
yeah, the smaller one.
Yeah.
the $300 one.
Yeah, which is awesome. I don't know as far as if it is any different or laggy.
I watched some reviews. They said there's a little bit more lag, but it's like not noticeable.
Okay.
Really, I mean, you'd have to really be paying attention to notice the lag.
So yeah, definitely. Anybody who's an artist and get the Apple Pencil and Procreate and either a regular iPad that uses the Apple Pencil or iPad Pro. I like the Pro because we got the big honking iPads. So it's like a regular sheet of paper, and you don't have to like have this little small space to draw on. So it's definitely awesome. So, oh, cool. Well, we're glad to be your first live streamed video. So
Cool.
yeah. So yeah, you got anything else you want to say? Or?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we
don't have much to.
we'll just rattle on about some other stuff next time. Then.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Thank you. Bye.
Finish.